Today we are at the landing at Branham in Gallatin, Tennessee, and we are going to be walking through this Shearwater floor plan by Schell Brothers. Make sure you guys stick around to the end of this video because I want to show you what they did with that loft area as well as this bedroom and give you a couple ideas about what you could use it for in your home. Now, this home is currently on the market for $1,189,870, and I always love these very particular prices for new construction homes because, you know, they inventory every little aspect of it with the design options and whatnot. Now, if you did purchase this home in particular, since it's a model home, there is a lease back option where basically Schell Brothers would lease it back from you for 1 year with a potential additional 6 months on top of that if they need it. Now, if you see those glass doors right there, that is going to be the future home of a two-car garage. There's already the detached as well, but once they're done using this as their model home, they will change that back to what it's supposed to be. Now, this home is the Shearwater floor plan, like we said, and this is available outside of the landing at Branham as well. It's funny because they just finished this model home relatively recently and they're pretty much already done. They only have 2 lots left available at the landing at Branham and this model home as well, which is now on the market. So it's kind of funny. All of the furniture and whatnot that you see in the home can come with it. That will be factored into the price as well. Now, if you've watched this channel before, you may know that I did a walkthrough of the Kingfisher floor plan by Schell Brothers, which they had a model at Durham Farms in Hendersonville, Tennessee. You can watch that on this channel still, but this Shearwater floor plan reminds me a lot of the Kingfisher. And in fact, when I was here this day, I was talking to the sales rep, his name is Lewis, and he was saying that he describes the Shearwater as the Kingfisher's older sister, which I actually thought was a really apt description of it because especially when you look at all these incredible warm tones around the home, especially with the design options, the accent walls and whatnot, especially once you get upstairs, you'll notice it quite a bit. It really makes a lot of sense to sort of describe it in that way. Some of the first floor in particular, I think is very similar to the Kingfisher, and even the upstairs has some similarities to it as well. One of the big differences in my mind is the, you'll see in a moment, where they have basically the stairwell. Okay, so in the Kingfisher, it's like right there when you walk in, whereas here in the Shearwater, it's sort of in that great room around the corner. We'll see it in a minute when we go in there, but I love this open area here. You can sort of do, you know, a little study thing in here with those French doors and the tray ceiling there. Really beautiful. Have a nice powder room up front here in the home. Again, very similar to the Kingfisher in that way. Now, I walk through a lot of new construction homes doing what I do, and I also go through a lot of model homes, and I always just love it when I see some color, when I see some wallpaper even once in a while, just like you saw in that bathroom right there. It's just refreshing to see something that's not all white, and I totally understand why everybody makes everything all white. They want you to be able to customize things in those spec homes and whatnot to your liking, aftermarket. But personally, I just so much prefer it when we see some, you know, some of these warm tones, like we said, in this home, a little bit of, wallpaper or accent walls, whatever it may be. I really love that in a new construction home, and this home has got a lot of that. So kudos to Schell Brothers on the way that they put this together. Now, normally that right there is your garage entrance for your attached garage, but since this is a model home, that's where the office is at. So this mudroom and laundry area right here is going to be where you're coming in from the garage area and getting access to the rest of the home. Now, I realize I've gotten this far into the video and I haven't even introduced myself yet. My name is Darren A. Wilson. I'm a realtor here in the greater Nashville, Tennessee area, and I love representing clients in front of the builders when they are going through the new construction process, whether it's a build from scratch or you're buying an inventory home that's already completed. I love helping people out with that. I'm going to post my contact information at the end of the video, and you can also get it down below in the description if you're interested. Now, in a moment here, we're going to take a look at this incredible great room, but first, just take a quick peek at under the stairwell right here where you do have this storage space. Probably a really good spot for your cleaning supplies and things like that. And take a look at this great room. I love how high the ceiling is in here. You basically have 2 floors worth of ceiling up there. You do have the balcony on the right-hand side. Look at that incredible fireplace as well. I love that goes all the way up to the top there, and the immense amount of natural light that you get from those windows is incredible. I love those long drapes as well. What beautiful work they did on this, and look at that. 5 stools right there in front of that incredible kitchen island. Massive amount of space to entertain. There you have a nice shot of that loft balcony area and the tray ceiling with the fan right there. Just incredible. Love the work that they did on this. Now, as we turn over here to the left, let's take another look at this fireplace that they have here. This is a gas fireplace. So you will have a termination cap on the outside of the home. For that, where basically all the exhaust will go. But take again a look at this stone work right here. Love this. This is beautiful. I also love that it goes all the way up this high ceiling right here. And again, these different design options. I love these colors right here. Very tasteful. So here we will take a look one more time at how high that fireplace goes all the way up there, and you do have those beautiful windows bringing in lots of great natural light all the way over to that loft area up top as well. And I just wanted to mention real quick, if this home is out of your price range, maybe you're just watching this video for fun, I do cover other homes in Gallatin and Sumner County here on this channel, new construction homes that are in lower price points, so be sure and subscribe so you can check those out. Now, as you can see, you do have a double oven over there on the right hand side and a gas cooktop grill right here, and just above it on the backsplash you have a pot filler. So if you want to boil some water right over there, you don't have to take the pot all the way over to the sink, you can just get it done right there. So that's super convenient. This is a really incredible kitchen for entertaining. You've got lots of counter space and obviously cabinet and drawer space as well, which we're going to explore right now. And on the other side of this kitchen, which you'll see in a moment, there's also a little butler's pantry area in the dining area. There is one criticism that I have of the Shearwater, and I could probably apply it to the Kingfisher as well. I'll point that out when we get to it, but on the whole, this kitchen just does an incredible job of being able to entertain, take care of the needs of the family, and you got plenty of space to do whatever you want here. Now, as we go through the kitchen here, I just wanted to take a moment to talk about the school system here that the landing at Branham is zoned for. So you are going to be zoned for Benny C. Bills Elementary, as well as Joe Schaefer Middle and Gallatin Senior High School. Now, because you're in Sumner County, you do have access to Merrill Hyde Magnet School, which is a K through 12. It is highly sought after, one of the top rated schools in all of Tennessee. You do have to test to get in. They only accept 40 students per class. On top of that, you do have a few different private school options, such as St. John Vianney Catholic School, that's a K through 8, as well as Sumner Academy. That's not an exhaustive list. There's a couple more in Gallatin as well, but you also do have some homeschooling resources available to you in the area as well. Now, when it comes to amenities here at the landing at Branham, there's really not much. In fact, I would say the biggest amenity is probably just the lot sizes, which is not really an amenity, but most of the lot sizes are, between 1 and 2 acres here. And there's only 2 lots left, and we're sitting on one right here that is, not quite 1 acre. So that just kind of gives you an idea. This is a little bit more of a rural area out here in the eastern part of Gallatin. But basically you have a $45 a month HOA fee. And basically what that covers is road maintenance, as well as basically just, Gertner, who is the HOA there, them making sure that nobody is leaving broken down cars on the side of the road and that there's no chain link fences in the yards as well. So not really a lot to the amenities here, but this is just kind of, what the landing is about. It's not so much about those resort style amenities that you might see in a spot like, Millstone or Durham Farms in Hendersonville. It's more of a rural area out here. Now, we're going to get back to that in just a minute, but this is the spot where I have my one little criticism of the Shearwater floor plan, and you could probably apply this to the Kingfisher floor plan as well, and that's this dining room / butler's pantry area. Now, I actually think this is a good spot for the butler's pantry, and it looks great as well. It's not an issue of that. It's more so that compared to the size of the rest of the home and the number of beds that you have in this home and could potentially have in this home, because with structural options, you can add all the way up to 6 bedrooms in this home, which would mean that you could have up to basically 8 people staying in the home at any point in time. You know, if you figure you have 4 kids, 2 parents, and 2 grandparents, that could be a lot of people having dinner at once. Now, this home is technically a 4-bedroom, so that is, you know, probably looks a little bit more like 5 people, but even still, if you take a look at this area right here, they do have a sort of smaller table in the middle here, and it seats 4 with this chandelier here as well. And it just feels like a little scrunched to me compared to the rest of the home. And on the other side, you do need to have some space because you do have a door that goes out to the screened porch area. So not a huge deal. It's not, you know, an enormous problem or anything like that, but it just does feel a little bit small to me compared to the rest of the home and the amount of space that you have there and the amount of people that you could potentially be having dinner in this spot right here. Not a huge deal, but that's just one little thing that was on my mind. Now, here we are heading out to the screen porch area, and that door across the way there does connect to the primary bedroom. So we'll take a look at that a little bit later, but you can have a couple different structural options out here. This can also be a sunroom or, like we said, a covered porch, screened-in porch. And over here, you have a deck right now, but also, you know, you do have a couple different options if you had one built from scratch where you could do a sunroom or a covered porch over there instead as well. It would change up what this looks like quite a bit, but you do have these nice windows available to you when you do have the deck over here, which is something you wouldn't have if you did have, you know, like the porch area over there. So that's something to keep in mind. And we do have that balcony up there, which connects to one of the upstairs secondary bedrooms, which we will check out in a little bit. Now, we're going to head over to the primary bedroom, but I just wanted to let you know real quick, if you are interested in having a Shearwater built from scratch, there's a few places that you can do it other than the landing at Branham, and that includes Oak Creek Estates in Hendersonville, Tennessee. They do have half-acre lots over there. They have one lot left at Durham Farms in Hendersonville, Tennessee. You can also have it done at the Reserve at Horn Springs in Lebanon, or at the estates of Wembley Park in Hermitage, Tennessee. And also there's one I forgot, which is their new one in Mount Juliet, Ashton Park as well. So a few different places you can do that. Here we are still on the first floor, and we are in the primary bedroom, the glorious primary bedroom with this beautiful raised ceiling. And I also really love the amount of natural light that you get in this room as well. You do have windows on 3 different sides in this room, including this bay window section right here, which brings in a ton of natural light into this primary bedroom. Now, in a moment here, you will see on the right-hand side, I mentioned earlier, the door that goes out onto the screen porch section right there. That gives you access to that and also brings in a bit of natural light into the room as well. Now, in a second here, we're going to walk over through the closet section, and you do have 2 walk-in closets over here as well as a linen closet, and then we will make our way into the primary bath. Now, the landing at Branham is located roughly about an hour outside of downtown Nashville during like a rush hour. It might even be a little bit more than that. If it's a good time, it might take you about 40 minutes to get downtown from this eastern side of Gallatin. Sort of similar when it comes to getting to B&A, which is the airport here. It's going to be around that, you know, hour or maybe 40 minutes if it's not, you know, a bad time of day, if you're lucky. So this is a little bit further out than, you know, a spot like Hendersonville or even, you know, the sort of the western part of Gallatin. However, they did recently build Meta's data center out here. It's only about 10 minutes from where this is at, and you're only about maybe 10-15 minutes from downtown Gallatin as well. We've had a lot of people sort of moving to Gallatin from around Nashville, but also just from around the country because there is a lot of investment that's going on here. As I said, Meta's data center is here now. The Gallatin government is actively trying to bring people in to recruit for high-tech jobs and whatnot. 23, the LED company, just recently moved here as well. So there's a lot of things coming to Gallatin, bringing a lot of jobs here as well. As you can see, we are in the primary bathroom now, and we are walking into this walk-in shower, and that tile on the wall does go all the way up to the top of the ceiling. Don't always see that, so kudos to Schell Brothers for that. Also love the work that they've done on the floor here as well. And just kind of continuing with our theme of really nice amount of natural light in this home, you do have that available in the bathroom as well, along with some privacy. As you can see, you have dual vanities in this bathroom, pretty standard for a home of this caliber or really any new construction home these days. But man, do they really look nice. I like the work that they've done and the design options that have gone into this in particular. Now, as we take a look at the water closet here, I just wanted to let you guys know, we spoke a little bit earlier about the fact that there's only 2 lots left available here at the landing at Branham, as well as this home, which is currently on the market. However, if you are interested in maybe something else that may be coming on the market sometime soon that's not announced yet, looking for some different lots in this area right here, shoot me a message, whether it's a text message or an email down below in the description. I'll also post it at the end of the video, and I can get you some more information about some additional lots that may or may not be coming available. Don't know yet. We'll see. But also, you know, we talked about the location, this being on the eastern side of Gallatin. It is pretty far from downtown Nashville, from the airport. It is a little bit more of a rural area. But if you're interested maybe more so in western side of Gallatin, it's a little bit closer to Hendersonville and a little bit closer to the city, and still pretty much equidistant to downtown Gallatin, there's another neighborhood that is going to be coming, and it's not clear exactly when, probably sometime in the next year, that's going to be of the same caliber of this neighborhood. And it's not publicly, announced yet, so I shouldn't really talk about it, but if you want to know about it before anybody else, please shoot me a message down below and I'll get you that information. Now, this staircase here, especially with this little bench here right next to the windowsill, is one of the defining features that sort of differentiates this Shearwater floor plan from the Kingfisher. So the Kingfisher has, the staircase in a different section and no such thing like that. It also doesn't have this little walkway that you have right here over to the loft area. But you do have a nice view, sort of similar to the Kingfisher, of the great room area and a loft area up there as well, though it is sort of a little bit differently laid out in the Kingfisher. Speaking of which, you see how beautiful this view is with the natural light coming in, as well as this beautiful great room, the tray ceiling, the fireplace, really all of it all together is just so well done. Now, this area up here, I like what they've done with it. This seems like it would be a nice spot to just kind of sit and read. You also do have this little study area that they have over here as well. Now, in the Kingfisher, there's sort of like equivalent spot over here. This is actually like another room. So it's laid out differently, as we said. And also, with the Shearwater, this area up here can sort of be rearranged as far as what kind of structural options you want to have upstairs. You can also sort of get rid of that high ceiling in the great room and have a whole nother room added upstairs over there, bedroom, if you want. That is one of the options. Now, this room right here, they've sort of turned this into the hangout where you do movies and fun stuff like that. But what I really like about this room is I sort of feel like it would be a really nice room at the end of the night to sort of calm the kids down. Don't keep any TVs or anything like that in this room because you want to calm them down, right? But it just seems like a nice spot to sort of quiet the mood and whatnot. In the home, it's kind of separated from everything else, but it's not, their bedroom. Now, obviously, this can be a bedroom. As you can see, it does have a walk-in closet here, and it also has a full bath attached to it as well. So if that doesn't make sense for you, maybe this is, whether this becomes a guest room or this becomes one of the kids' rooms, could also be a good spot to have grandma and grandpa if they were going to sort of be spending some time here, or any other, family member or whatnot that's sort of living with you on either a permanent or semi-permanent basis. Obviously, this is upstairs, so, depending on their age and sort of their mobility, maybe this wouldn't be right for everybody, but that is something that, certainly could work for a lot of people. And as you can see, you do have a very nice, fully tiled walk-in shower here. Very nice bathroom located up here with some natural light coming into this one as well. So that's just a couple of options of things that you could do with this room. I still like the idea of this being like a, chill out room at the end of the night, but that's just me. I've got a little one myself, so I can imagine that being something that sort of would come in handy with a room like this. Now, if you do have kids and you're moving, that can always be a stressful experience. I've been through that a couple of times when my daughter was 6 months and when she was 2. It's not always the easiest experience when you're really doing anything life-changing with kids. But just know that once you get in and you get settled, things will, sort of start making sense and life will become more stable. It's tough though when you're moving with kids because they don't always understand exactly what's going on. And, I know my daughter, would often sort of wonder when she's going back home and when are we gonna, go back to the old place, as we called it for a while. And the home we're in now has been the new place for a few years now. But either way, it's just one of those things that can certainly be tough. But, to be able to move into a beautiful home like this is hopefully some compensation, and, the lifestyle that you'll be able to have in a home like this and in an area like this is hopefully great. I came from Illinois about 7 years ago, a little over 7 years ago. And I just love it in the Nashville area. I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago and had, several years where I was thinking of coming down here and finally sort of pulled the trigger, lived in East Nashville for a minute and found my way out to Hendersonville a couple of years ago. And Sumner County, Gallatin, Hendersonville area, I just love this area so much. And I really think the thing that people tend to like the most, or at least that I like the most, and I think a lot of people come to like quite a bit, is the people that are already here. And it's the people that have been here, and it's the people who have moved here too, because I think this area really just tends to attract really great people. People you can trust, people you can count on. There's always exceptions to every rule, obviously, anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, right? But I just think in general, there's just a culture here of good-natured people, and it's just something I think that you'll find if you are new to the area, that it'll grow on you, and you'll be attracted to that, and it'll be one of the reasons, if you come and visit, that you'll want to stay, is not just for, all of the great opportunities that we have here in the area, but also just because of the great people and sort of the culture that you're going to find, and that Southern hospitality, as they say. It's real, and you will experience it, and you will adopt it if you don't have it yourself, because it'll sort of be required. You'll find out when you get here if you don't know already. Now, if you are at the beginning of that process, maybe you're relocating, or maybe you are just looking to go through the new construction process, whether it's a quick move-in home or you're having something built from scratch, I just got to say, I always do really recommend that you have representation in front of a builder. And, even if you guys don't use me, just make sure that you're working with somebody who understands new construction, who's been through the process before, and who knows the types of pitfalls to look out for. You're not dealing with a normal purchase and sale contract. You're going to be on a builder contract. It's going to have different contingency periods, and the negotiation is going to, sort of go on throughout the life of that contract. So just try and keep some of that stuff in mind before you find yourself, actually under contract to have a home built or to purchase one. It's just important to have that. Now, inside this secondary bedroom, you do have that balcony that we mentioned earlier. So if you do have little kids, obviously this is probably not going to be the room for them. But either way, this is just like a nice little thing to have here outside of the secondary bedroom. Similar in the Kingfisher, you do have one of these over in that floor plan as well. And you have this beautiful French door here, as you can see. Tennessee in the wintertime, just what can I say? The grass just doesn't look good. So don't judge it by the way it looks right now. We were just getting over some snow, a little quick sort of burst of snow. We have very intermittent periods of snow during the wintertime in Tennessee. It's not here all the time. It sort of comes and goes. Now, getting back to what I was saying a few minutes ago, my father-in-law several years back had a new construction home built, and he did not have a realtor that he worked with representing him in front of the builder. And as a result, when it was all said and done, there was actually a number of issues with the home. He was doing it remotely. He didn't even have an inspection done on the home. And you may be saying, well, this is a brand new home. Why would you ever need an inspection done? Well, the reality is you need to have an inspection done on any home. Because there may be issues there. Maybe there was a shoddy subcontractor or something like that. Now, I'm not throwing any shade whatsoever at Schell Brothers because I think they do a really great job. But nonetheless, you do need to always do your due diligence. And one of the best ways to do your due diligence is to have somebody there representing you so that when it comes time to resell a home, you're not going to have an issue and trying to be clearing things up and getting them fixed like my father-in-law is doing right now, unfortunately. On that note, if you are interested in the new construction process, you can check out my free download right here entitled Nashville New Builds, 5 Costly Mistakes All Buyers Should Avoid. The graphic design was done by my wife, so you should check it out for that reason alone. My name is Darren A. Wilson. I'm a realtor here in the greater Nashville, Tennessee area. If you want any information that I was talking about earlier, go ahead and contact me right here. If you want to see some more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel. I put out home tours and community tours around the Sumner County area, around Nashville, and more. And if you want to watch another video, you can check out this model home tour that I did of the Kingfisher at Durham Farms in Hendersonville, Tennessee by Schell Brothers. Thanks, and I'll see you later.